So I've programmed my radio with this plane and how I like it set up. Now I'm going to bind the radio. I have a binding plug that we put right in here where it says battery. Our throttle is plugged in, and I have two other servos plugged in. Let's grab a battery. Now with the battery plugged in, you should have a nice flashing orange light. It means the receiver is in bind mode. I have the new DX8 here, and that's what we're going to bind it to. The trainer button is the bind button. So I'll hold it, turn on the radio. Once I have a solid orange light, I am now binded to the radio. There, my servos are moving. Usually I just leave the bind plug in because I'm going to rebind it a couple of times after each step. In each link that I do and set up, I will bind it, and then after I do a final trim in the air, I'll bind it again for neutral, so that if it had a brownout or cutout or a low battery, it has a neutral point to stop and sit in. Okay, so now we're going to set the servos. I've cut two rods, the approximate length of where my ailerons are going to go. We'll check to make sure the ailerons are going in the right direction. So when I do right aileron, it should be pushing. This should actually be pushing. This is going in the opposite direction, so I want to switch direction on my aileron servos. This is very easy to do. It's just like very similar to the 6 and the 7. You press the dial, it says servo setup. Click on servo setup. Travel. Scroll through. You'll click it once and then scroll through to find what you want. Reverse. I'll go to throttle and change that to right aileron. Click it, and then I'll go to normal reverse and switch it. I'll go to left aileron, click it, and switch it. And then back up the list, and then clear or back to the main screen. Now when I give it right aileron, it's moving the arm to the back, which is going to push this and give us full right aileron throw. Left aileron's going the opposite direction. Important note, if you're using Y connectors for your ailerons, this is more important. This is more important with a Y connector than it is without. When you're setting up these links, I typically measure the height of the link from the center point here. From our hinge line to the top of the nut, I want to make sure that these are equal. And the reason we want them equal is for differential. If one is up higher than the other and this is sticking up and this one's down low, what will happen is you'll get more left throw or more right throw than you will on the other. So you'll go to right aileron and you'll have tons of throw on right aileron, then you go to left aileron, you'll have half the throw. So the depth of this will really determine how much throw. The deeper it is, the more throw you get. The further out it is, the less throw you get. So for to keep the geometry correct for a Y connector, you're going to want to make sure that these two are the same height on the control surface. From your hinge line to the top and hinge line to the top, these heights should be equal. This link right here should line up right with your hinge line. Same with this side, right with the hinge line. That will give you a good geometry for your ailerons, and that way you can add a little bit of differential to it if you need it. If you're not wide together, having a Y connector really eliminates being able to adjust differential that well. And my 5 minutes are up. Now with the aileron in place, I'm going to put a couple of dots here so I know where it goes. I want this rod to run smooth and straight through here. So I'll put a little line on each side so I know where to put my aileron after I glue and where the glue goes. Now the tape always has a spot where it overlaps a little bit, and I'll put just a small dot on that and wipe off the excess. My rod runs cleanly through both.
Bye, Joe.
Now setting the aileron height. When you set this height, I'll use a pin and just pin it into the foam here. What you want is, as this is the fuse and this is your wing, you want these two edges to line up like this. So your wing is going to be even with the actual wing, not with the fuse. A lot of times these ailerons, I'll come out to the field and somebody will be having a problem when they roll inverted, their plane keeps nosing down. They can't understand why it noses down when everything CGs correctly. And I'll look at their wing, and typically their aileron will be set up level with this. It shouldn't be level. It should actually, the bottom edge of the aileron should line up with the bottom edge of the plane. Set that height. nice and smooth and clean. It shouldn't be twisting on the aileron at all. It's running in a nice, smooth, straight line. Exactly what I wanted. These edges line up beautifully. Not a bunch of slop in the link. I will do this next one the same way.